Yo, what is up? It's ChrisXtophers, and now in today's Multiversus video, we're going to be talking about this patch note coming out tomorrow. It will be coming out Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So by the time you're seeing this video, the patch notes should be out, but I want to break them down and talk about all these huge changes. Alright, so first things first, we have Shaggy is now the tutorial character instead of Wonder Woman, which is, who cares, right? Obviously, Rick is joining tomorrow. By the time you see this video, I will be recording my Rick video. It'll be out tomorrow night, most likely. Also, PS4 and Xbox players had problems loading into a match. They would load in a little late, but now that seems to be fixed. But let's move into the important stuff. Oh yeah, Rain Dog got a skin. He got 2 skins. Steven got a skin. You know, who cares? If you're like me, you care about the nerfs, you care about the buffs. So first things first, we have an anti-infinite combo system. Basically meaning if you've been playing this patch, you know characters like Harley Quinn, Bugs Bunny, Superman has a little loop. Basically it was an infinite combo that a couple characters could do, and it just made the fight extremely unfair if your character did not have a loop. So the fact that they're going in the direction to make this feel like a better game, a more skillful fight, is great. So the first character that is changed has been Arya. She doesn't have nerfs or buffs, they just fixed a couple of her moves. You could pause this and read it. Personally, I don't play Arya, so I don't really care. And moving on to Bugs Bunny, they nerfed his down air. The hitbox is slightly smaller to better match the visuals. So basically what that means is that before this patch, when you would get hit by Bugs Bunny's down air, sometimes you wouldn't really be where the hammer was. So his down air is a hammer where he goes down with it. Sometimes the hammer would hit here and you'd be over here and you would still get hit by the hammer. But now the hitbox has changed to where it's only the hammer, which is great. Also, Finn got nerfed, his down air got nerfed, the instant cancel got removed. Before this patch, there was a bug where if you were Finn, you could forward air straight into a down air 3 or 4 different times, and it was a true combo. Nothing you could do to get out of it. It felt really bad to go against. So I'm glad they got that out of the way. While they did that, they also nerfed his ground side attack. Instant jump, cancel, or hits removed. That was the same thing with this. You would combo this into this, and it was... God. Shout out my Garnet mains out there. Garnet got buffed. She got some ground up attack buffs, some down air buffs, and some neutral attack buffs. Basically just recovery, frames. So basically she should feel less clunky to play. We won't know. Whenever they say they reduce frames, you can't mathematically think about it in your head. You have to actually go in and play it. So if anybody wants to hop on and play Garnet tomorrow, be my guest. It ain't gonna be me. But let's move on to Gizmo. So moving on to Gizmo, for some reason I thought Gizmo was fine. They decided to buff him. His jump speed got buffed. His air and ground neutral specials got buffed. Music notes lifetime extended to 10 seconds. So maybe they thought people weren't getting silenced enough. Silence sucks anyways, I don't know why it matters, but basically Gizmo got a whole bunch of buffs. He can now jump out of his air down special, which is his little sit that he has. I don't know why he needed some of these buffs, but I guess they wanted to make him more used since he is the newest character in the game besides Rick. So moving on to Harley, they fixed a bug issue where if 2 people were standing side by side and you down specialed them, the move wouldn't connect, and that's a cool fix. They also fixed something with Iron Giant, something about his blast box, but Iron Giant is KO'd, something, who cares. Moving on to Jake. Jake got nerfed again. Sorry my Jake mains out there. Air ground side special while in Jake's house will no longer bounce on grounded opponents. So now when you turn into a house, you will no longer bounce off of your enemies, you'll just go, I'm assuming, straight through them, which isn't really a nerf, it's more of just a change. His ground down attack, I think that's his split. Recovery increased by 4 frames if you miss. So on this attack, it's going to make it... This is a good nerf. This basically means you can't spam that attack, that if you miss it, you're gonna have to pay for it. That's a good change. Now, moving on to what we care about. As many of y'all know, I main Tom&Jerry, but since this last patch nerfed Tom&Jerry, I started playing LeBron, got him up to level 27. I'm top 199 in the world with LeBron. Proud to say that. And they added some huge changes to him. So first of all, he's no longer experimental. Neither's Morty. That's great. So they fixed a bug that would cause the ball to disappear when thrown close to an enemy. That was annoying. I never ran into that bug a lot, but it did happen. You know, you would just call another ball and keep playing, but it's a good bug fix. Now moving on to the crazy thing they changed about LeBron. When an ally receives a pass, they emit a small explosion to knock away enemies. So let's say I'm playing duos, because that is the only way this would work. Let's say I'm playing duos, I have a Taz on my team. If I pass my ball to Taz, and Taz is fighting Bugs Bunny, when Taz receives my ball, it'll do a little explosion and knock Bugs Bunny back off of my teammate. That's crazy. I can't wait to see how this is going to work tomorrow. Any LeBron buffs, I'm all for them, man. I can't wait until one day that there's a LeBron meta. I've been grinding him like crazy this week, and I'm trying to hit in the top 10 ranks with him. I'm probably going to make a video about that sometime, but who cares. They nerfed his no longer blocking projectiles, but these aren't really nerfs. It no longer breaks armor. It wasn't supposed to in the first place, that's why he was experimental, but they got him balanced out now, and they added a cool thing to his kit. LeBron's going to be crazy this patch. Now moving on, they nerfed Shaggy. Finally, they touched his sidekick. So now when you miss a sidekick, you're going to have to pay. You'll have 3 frames of not being able to do anything, which isn't going to be noticeable, I don't think. 3 frames is nothing. But they also nerfed his neutral air, basically saying that it won't break armor on its first hit. That's his little on your head bullshit. So the first kick isn't going to break armor, but basically the rest of them will, so it's not going to change too much. And moving on to some buffs for Steven. Steven's jab got buffed, first attack, launch, moving forward, second attack, basically smoothed out the movement so it wouldn't hitch. They also buffed his air side attack, his Sair, increased the knockback from 14.5 to 13.5, so that move is going to be killing a lot sooner. They also buffed his air ground side special, increased projectile speed slightly. Now we don't know what that means. Slightly could mean anything. We really won't know until we load in tomorrow and Steven main tries it in the lab, but I don't think that's a huge buff. Spike, his air down attack. Hitbox frames start 2 frames earlier. So after this patch, y'all are going to be getting spiked by Steven a lot, and that's kind of crazy. Moving on, they nerfed Superman. It's much needed. I'm not even going to go over it and give the Superman mains a chance to defend themselves. All of this was needed. Moving on to the Tom&Jerry. So, for some reason, they don't like Tom&Jerry's jab. I don't know why. I've never heard a single person complain about Tom&Jerry's jab, but they want to keep the jab bad, which I'm fine for. You know, the jab's whatever. Who cares about it? But they finally fixed his side attack, his forward air. They fixed his spike. And they also made it where that Jerry will return back to Tom if he's on your ally and he goes down. So if Jerry dies while your friend has him, he comes right back to you. That's great. They also buffed these 2 moves, and those are the 2 moves that felt bad to play. If you watch my video on why Tom&Jerry is bad, those are the 2 moves I talked about most. So as a Tom&Jerry main and a LeBron main, this patch is great for us Tom&Jerry mains. We need to rejoice. Moving on to the last character that was changed in this patch, and that would be Velma. If you've played this patch a decent amount in the higher rank, you know Velma's been running it. They've nerfed her almost every single patch, and somehow she manages to slither her way up to S tier. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the Steven meta, so any nerfs that come towards Velma, I am all for. So they fixed the bug, changed one of her moves, and then they nerfed up air, and they nerfed her air ground neutral special. So just her neutral air, which I'm trying to think of what that would be on Velma. Those are her words. Ally enhanced beam no longer stacks weaken. Ally enhanced beam knockback reduced. So basically her megaphone no longer does as much damage and it no longer does as much knockback, which, you know, these numbers could mean anything. We're gonna have to see when Velma actually plays tomorrow if it's enough to make people stop playing Velma, which I doubt. But that's going to be it for today's video. It's just a super short patch notes video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know what y'all think about Rick tomorrow when y'all play. Tom and Jerry buffs, LeBron buffs, Superman nerfs. I think this patch is going to be crazy. Last patch was atrocious to play. I'm not even going to sit here and lie. I started playing the Modern Warfare 2 beta. I played some Fortnite, some Apex Legends, some Valorant, anything to buy the time until today. So I'll keep y'all updated on my opinions on this. But until my next video, I'm gonna get out of here.